Okay, it seems to think that things are going okay. Are we? We are live. So far, we'll see. We'll see. Hello. Hey, everyone. No one's here yet. That's okay. I'm 5 minutes early because if you're not 5 minutes early, you're already 15 minutes late. Says my crazy brain about showing up for places and things. Okay. I think I've got the technology sorted out. I mean, I've restarted every device I have in my house. So I am hopeful there will be no technology issues, but who knows? Everything's been restarted. All the lights are green. I did a test run earlier and it worked okay, covering every base. So I'm just going to pretend like I did not run into technology issues earlier. And we are spending the day crafting together, working on continuing my fairy lantern build, which I'm really, really excited about. I have just been storing, oh, there it goes, everything off to the side in a paper box. So I'm going to get it all out. It's all just kind of like jumbled in there. And I went ahead and off camera, I made a list of all the things that I need to do with this to make progress because the live sessions are about 2 weeks apart, and I honestly cannot hold on to that information that long. I will forget it. So I was reading Every Tool is a Hammer by Adam Savage. And he had a really good idea that he wrote about, which was to make a list, which is actually like a whole chapter in his book, but not just a list for what you have to do, but a list of the things that you have completed already. So that way, if you have to put a project away for a little bit, when you come back to it, you have a sense of what you have already done. And I love that. I love that idea. I make lists anyways. I even set aside time, like I have time this afternoon that I'll be making another list just for making a good list for another project I'm working on. But so we have on our list a couple of things we need to do. We need to continue tiling this roof. If we're just doing one layer at a time, because I am trying out this felt and foam tacky glue. It worked really well on my EVA foam wigs like that one. So I'm curious to see how it works with foam projects. And then I think we need to do a little bit of engineering to figure out what the base of this fairy lantern is going to look like, because I have a vision for filling it with like some naturey, organic-y inspired elements. And I want to be able to access those really, really easily. So I pulled my fairy lights. I have like a variety pack from my electronic stash in the garage. And they're just this like, it's a little battery pack and these little micro LEDs, and they light up. They're kind of, oh, you can't even see it. There's a whole bunch of them. I like to sculpt them, like the wire, into different shapes and then put them into things as a really easy like LED special effect. And I want to do that in here, like in here, and maybe make some, I was thinking paper flowers could be really cool because then I could like draw on them or paint them, or I love watercolors, so I could make watercolor paper or silk flowers. But I want to be able to access it with like a base here, and I can lift it up because ultimately I'd like to glue this piece onto it and have a physical attachment so that the handle is really strongly anchored, and then the electronics can come out like that. So we have some engineering to do there, some tiling to do here, and then detailing work to do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on just getting the tiling done. And maybe before I do that, I will just take a little peekaroonie around to see how these are holding up. Oh, yeah, they're on pretty good. That's a good, I mean, it's foam, so I'm not going to like try to tear them off because it will tear them off, but they're pretty secure at their attachment points, which I think is great. That's really promising. I'm going to end up putting a layer of sealant over the top of this anyways, either some kind of primer or since since this is not going to be like armor, something against my body, it's going to just be a prop. I could probably get away with either like Mod Podge or Flex Bond. They're water soluble, so they are uh like they're not something that I would take out into the elements and like swing around in the rain or go swimming with, but they will give me a really good surface to paint on. They are also adhesive. So there'll be another layer over the top of this, but this is still on, like, you can see, it's on pretty strong. I'm not pulling super hard. I'm not gonna tempt the fates with that, but enough to get us going. So I want to put this on something so that it's not just sitting on it. What can I use? I could use, just reach off to the side. Here's the light that I originally was going to put into here, which I still want to use this. I actually want to take this back to my design and do a little bit of work on it and print it out of, not print it, laser cut it out of like draft board or even some pine or some wood, and then make a really, really stable, maybe like held together with mechanical like screws. So then I can have this light in there. And then this is just a table light that is got a charger. So its battery is all contained and it is dead already. It's dead already. Did I leave it on? It's cool. It also hooks up to my phone. There's an app that manages it, so I can program a bunch of things into it, which is what initially drew me to it. It was like $25, and to me, that is worth experimentation. I thought I'd be able to take this top part off to lighten the weight of it a little bit, but it turns out there's an actual light button here, an electronics management button. Maybe it's because I'm touching it too much, like handling it. No, I think it's just dead. If I keep pushing it like the elevator button, do you think it will turn on? I think it's just dead. I can't help but poke the bear. Interesting. That's good to know that I'll need to charge it whenever I use it. Anyways, the app allows you to do custom programs with all the LEDs and a bunch of different patterns, and it can even be like sound and music responsive. And I just think that inside of something like this, and then you barricade or like put tissue paper here for more light diffusion, it would be a really cool effect. But I think it's just heavy enough, it's probably like a pound or two, that it will distort foam. So this was initially what I was going to put into there, but I don't think that's going to pan out this time around. But it can hold our rooftop for now, because what else is it going to do? So let's get our layer of tiles on here and we'll get going on this. I have an idea about what I want to do with these. I know I've talked in past live sessions about how I like little crafts like this. I like to do them when I'm working on bigger projects because they're just joyful. Like they just bring me joy in general, which is wonderful. And also I can finish them in not like a 300 or 400 hour build. And so I feel like I've accomplished something. So I've made a bunch of little fairy lanterns and I've given some away and some are like just in my house in places and on my prop wall. But I was thinking about my table that I'm putting together for guesting at some conventions this year. And I'd like it to include some examples and some goodies for people who like want to engage or chat or subscribe or follow me on Instagram. And I think this fairy lantern pattern is a great carrot. Like I would love to share it. I'd love to see what other people have to do with it. So I want to go back and shrink this little project down, maybe a little bit smaller, because right now it's quite large, right? But I want to shrink it a little bit smaller, maybe like 70% the size. And also hand cutting all these little swirls would be a nightmare. So I'm going to change that out too. I use my laser cutter, because robots make stuff easier sometimes, especially stuff like that. But then I can share it as like a shareable file project for people to work on to get a sense of how to work with EVA foam. And I can put a bunch of examples at my convention table. This is where it all ties in. It wasn't just crazy. It wasn't just a lot of chatting, which it is. But I could put a bunch of different examples at my convention table so that I can talk about the steps to making something like this. Because my partner pointed out, he's wonderful and thoughtful and reflective. And he was like, Christy, while this is really intuitive for you to do because you've done it a bunch of times, it may not be intuitive for everyone else. So why not have some examples that you can also use to talk to people about, and then you can share and see what other people have to do, which I love. I love doing that. I recently partnered with Bill Duran and Brittany Duran at Punish Props on a collaborative video. It's the second one we've done. They are amazing to work with, just like incredible human beings. If you are not following, subscribe to Punish Props, it's Chin Beard on Instagram, and I think the Prop Tarts are their official Facebook group. But I love partnering. It's not even just I love partnering with them because we get to do something together, and then their philosophy is share it with the community. Let's see what other people start to do with this thing that you've done, this technique you've created, or this idea that you have. And I think that is just a beautiful mission. And so that's what I want to do too. They have influenced me positively to do stuff like that, to share. I mean, I think that's part of my nature in general because of the education background, but I would love to share this and see what other people do. Bottom line, long story, short takeaway. Hey, friends. Hey, I actually see you in the chat. This is great. Thank you for joining me today. I super appreciate you hanging out. This is wonderful. I don't imagine anyone would show up for any live streams, mostly because this is kind of a weird time during the work week. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me while we glue stuff to other stuff, which is kind of fun. Eventually, we'll get past the point of gluing stuff to other stuff and we'll get to paint it together. And I will probably have to rein myself in because I could like noodle on something and paint for days and days and days, but we'll keep it short and sweet. I'm going to take some of these tiles, just 2 of them, and cut them along the diagonal because I want to make corner pieces for this layer. And then all of these can go back into my box for next time. Oh, hey, it's good to see you. Oh, yeah, off work today. Nice. I love it. My partner and I have started to work a slightly altered schedule. Thursdays are Mondays and Mondays are Fridays. So working through the weekend. So this is like my Tuesday. And I kind of dig it. I don't have a lot of complaints about this. When he proposed it, I was like, oh, I don't know, we'll see. But I have found that I really like it. But I know that's not like the rest of the world. Fridays are Fridays. I will say when I was in the classroom and when I was working I'm going to call it corporate America, when I was doing instructional design for bigger firms. I need more of these. I didn't cut enough. I was a gentle worker on Friday. They were very, very mellow for me, which I kind of hope is the deal for everyone. I think everyone should have kind, gentle work days that don't make your eyes want to bleed. Yeah. All right. This is something I genuinely do just about every project. I make half of what I need. I don't know what's wrong with me. Counting. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit closer. Is it okay if it's in shot? I think sound is more important than having a terribly tidy workspace, which I do not. I never have a tidy workspace. In this sense, Adam and I, because I just finished reading Adam Savage's book, we would not get along. He has an entire chapter on like the importance of cleaning stuff up, and he's totally right, 100% accurate. Like, yeah, absolutely. And I try, I aspire to that. I was chatting with a friend, my friend Heather, and she was so kind. She was saying, she's like, oh man, my favorite part of the day is at the end when I just clean everything up. And then I know for sure I'm going to walk into this like beautiful workspace. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Why would you? You could work up until you pass out, and then you can come back and work and all that again. They both have excellent points. I've tried to rein in the chaos a little bit, but I've got a couple of different projects going on right now. So my chaos is in piles around the space. And then what you didn't see on camera is that my cat, Danny, she's amazing and I love her, that little dummy, but she found some chiffon fabric that I recently ordered, which is like this light, airy, breezy, beautiful fabric. And she just had her best morning, like rolling up in it and kicking it and tearing it apart. And so now there's like chiffon fabric floofs everywhere with the cat floofs with the, it took me a while to clean up. She just had the best day ever though, like her living her best life for sure. All right, row number 3. It's starting to come together, right? You can kind of see what we're aiming for. This kind of, what is it, cottage core, thatched roof. And I just shifted those a little bit. I know, a little bit closer. I know you can see where I use hot glue to like weld all these seams together, and you can still see it here at the corners. And that's okay because I'm going to eventually get to a point where I'm taking pieces and wrapping them, like folding them and wrapping them down that. So it's going to hide it. So I'm not super worried about getting all my pieces like tightly clustered together because I know that I'm going to be just covering it up with some more shingles a little bit in a couple more sessions before we're through. That's a better way of saying that. So we work on this forever. Okay. And I'm going to check to make sure the stream is still going good. Yay! I had a theory that I had technical difficulties earlier this week because it was the Super Bowl, but then I went to test everything out and like had just for a second technical difficulties too. Knock on wood that they don't come back. So I reset everything. Every technology in my house has been reset, restarted, turned off and turned on again. And I'm hoping that was what needed to happen last time. All right, let's set that aside. Stop fiddling with it. And okay. Now we're going to return to this because it is time to do some engineering. So here's my vision. And when I initially made this pattern, there's a square piece that fits very, very nicely on the bottom of this. It looks really nice and clean. And I would just like glue it down with hot glue and it would be fine. And then I'd put everything in here and then I'd remove the roof to be able to access it all. But I have found that sometimes it's really hard to engineer some kind of hinge with the roof. And it's easier just to like make this part removable. However, I know I'm going to build more stuff on top of this. And so I want it to be a little bit stronger. I guess that's my first boundary is I want this to have a little more not necessarily bulk, but yeah, I guess strength is the word I'm looking for. It needs to be, I wish it was a little bit stiffer, like a little more rigid. But I still want it to all be foam. So I think that I'm going to use, I keep my scrap foam over here, this 10 millimeter foam to create a piece that like fits inside of this. And I am going to put some magnets in there somehow. I got magnets. These tiny little super, neodymium magnets. They work great. I was thinking about putting the magnets in the side. So hear me out on this one. So if the magnets are in this way, like through the side of this lantern, maybe one in the middle of every wall that you're seeing, like right here, then I could put the magnets in the edge here because they'd fit just fine. And it would just like click in and click out and click in and click out. Now that I'm looking at it, and it's not just in my mind's eye, I am reminded that shear force is the stronger of the forces. Well, I guess like how you stick and detach your magnets. Am I going to get more strength if my magnets are like this and I'm shearing them apart? Or am I going to get more if they're like this and I'm like pulling them apart? I don't know the answer to that question. Does anyone? If it's like this, if it does, or it's like, does that make sense? Can you believe that I actually was like a low-key biophysicist? Yeah, but this is real life, and we all know that friction and gravity screw everything up off of like paper physics calculations. So, and then like, if I build everything on the inside hollow, as minimum weight as possible. What I'm battling in my brain is, hello. What I'm battling in my brain is how much is enough. And what I really want to do is have a mechanical connection. I have had enough super failures on stuff with just magnets that when I engineer things anymore, they always have mechanical connections. And they're usually pretty modular because I break pieces. I break a lot of stuff. And I really want something mechanical. You know what I could do? I could do a dowel, like a little fake lock and key. It could be kind of cool if I did it cleverly. Like I could make it a cute little thing. Hey! So I think I can do that out of foam. I think I can make like some kind of little lock and key mechanism and a magnet. Because then I could put my magnets in sheer like this. And I don't have to try to put them in like this. Which I don't know how to do. But I could do this. And then I could do a little like dowel. It could be cute. If I was smart about it, if I was really smart about it. I'm thinking about the I made the Sheikah slate from Zelda. Whoa, I love that game. How did I forget that? From Zelda Breath of the Wild. It has this little key component to it, and it never ended up turning it into anything, but I figured out how to make it all work. So I know I could repeat the process. Okay. I'm going to stop thinking and I'm going to do something. I'm going to grab some scratch paper, and where's my favorite gel pen? This one. Oh, I'm going to need a replacement soon. It is about to reach. If you don't use these like little jelly white pens when you're working on black paper, which is generally what I use as my scratch paper, you are missing out. These guys are amazeballs. So what is this? what is this? 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Don't let me forget that. Let's go ahead and measure it out. I think I just need to do it. Get out of my head and just do the thing, because then at least I'll know like if it works or not. And worst case scenario, I just do it again. Like, right? Paper is cheap, foam is cheap. 4.5. It was 4.5 by 4.5. That's what I want to make. So I'm going to make this out of paper so that I have a pattern to trace onto my foam. Oh, I could just, do I want to test it? Yeah, I'm going to skip the paper step and just go directly to foam. We'll just hedge our bets. It's probably fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. 4.5. No. Oh, no. Okay, it's good. I thought my pen died. In which case, I have, only like 30 or 40 other pens that are purple that I could use. Which edge is the straightest edge? I don't think it matters. I'm trying the SKS high density foam. I tried it for a project, which is episode 5. Wait, episode 5? Yeah, episode 5, which comes out in 2 weeks for my Ellen Ripley build. And I like it. Yeah, so far it's really nice. It's got, it's great for sanding. It's pretty forgiving. I haven't used it before. I ordered mine from Blick Art Supplies and had it delivered. And I've been really impressed by it so far. That away from the microphone. Okay. I think what I like the most about it, and if you are a foam worker, you can probably appreciate this, is that when you have a good blade, not this one, which is probably at the end of its life, you can get a really, really clean cut, but also like that's pretty forgiving. You just saw me do a double cut on that, and like that's a nice edge. So I am happy with that. I remember when Steven was just like prototyping this material, because he came to Emerald City Comic Con and he was showing it off, and that was when TNT Cosplay Supply was still around. That's another good cut. And I used TNT for a long time until they closed, and then I had to start to think about a different source. And I do really I remember he was talking about like the value of having foam that you can just write on with a normal colored pen. And at the time I was like, oh yeah, maybe I could see where that's really important. But now that I've actually used it, like, yeah, he was right. It is a really nice thing to have. It's one of those, you don't know you needed it until you had it in hand. Okay. Well, I like how that squares out the bottom, and then this would go on it. All right. And then I would poke some holes in here, and I can put my magnets in. And then how many magnets is enough magnets, and how many magnets is too many magnets? Is there such a thing? I do not know. This might be one of those pieces where, okay, I liked that. I liked that a lot. I don't think I should have taken it out. I'm going to put it right back into where it was before. Very gently, just stretching this foam a little bit to slip this in. There is a part of me that's like, you should use contact cement for this. And I have some in here, but I do not have my respirator in here, and I just ran out of gloves. So I don't know that I want to do that. I don't think I need to. Can I get away with hot gluing it? I think I can. I don't think it'd be a problem. Oh, that's weird. It's got a little bit of a bow to it on this end. I think I want to put it in this way. I think we can hot glue it. I don't think we need contact cement. We could super glue it. I like to save my super glue for like the smaller parts because honestly, I am untidy with it. And it's not even that I'm untidy with it on foam or on the thing I'm building. I'm untidy with it on my human person. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. I get super glue all over my fingers. So I usually wear gloves with it, but every once in a while I don't know, forget. It slips my mind and then my fingers are like covered in super glue. This is not my favorite to work with on big pieces. CA glue, super glue, CA glue. Are they different? I think they are. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna hot glue it. I'm just gonna hot glue it. Yeah. I'm gonna just rub it right there. I think I can do it fast enough. I don't know. Think about, someone said I ended up wearing more glues than I get on my actual projects. Yeah, seriously. Like I even use the soap that is specially formulated to help remove resin from your skin. And it works. It's great, but it's just me. I'm the problem. I don't have enough glue in here. What's going on? Has it been on too long? Do I need the big one? I might need to use my big glue gun. Like the adult industrial. Oh, there we go. Get moving. Get moving. Don't talk too long, Christy. Do the thing. Do the thing. Get the thing on. I feel like I can do this. Yeah. That's good. Okay. Get it, center. Okay, the truth is, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to remind ourselves this since one of my goals this year is to continue to work on letting go of perfectionism. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we can add decoration on the outside that hides any uneven edges. We could also just I actually have my rotary tool up in here in the shop today. I could just take the rotary tool to it and clean up the edges to make them flush if I really, really needed to. So we don't need to panic. That's it. We can take some of that like anxiety, false anxiety, and stress right off of us. Ooh, okay. Little Hulk moment. It's a little things. Smoosh it down nice and flat. I think that's great. I think that's perfect. Fit in kind of snugly. Yeah. Okay. You know what I want to add though? I mean, not right now, or maybe right now. Speaking of the key on the Sheikah slate, it could be cool to have like a little dangly decoration bit that I could actually like use to take this in and out. Just joined in. Oh, hey, we are making fairy lanterns. We're continuing to make them. We're on day 3 of this, and we're getting ready to engineer the base attachment. And I do think I think 8 magnets. I mean, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 16 magnets here. Yeah, that's enough for 2 on each side, in and out. Yeah. Yep. So I think I'm going to put the magnets in the sides because I can punch a hole through this, straight into the foam, through this layer of foam, and into this inner layer now of gray foam, of my 10 millimeter foam, and put magnets in there so that they perfectly line up. And then it will be a shearing connection, but it's not as if it's There'll be a lot of them. And we can add a cute little detail, maybe like keys or something that do a physical lock as well. I think we can do both. The engineer in me will not let go of having something mechanical to hold it together. Just I think if you've ever been on a convention floor and you have been wearing something and your adhesive fails catastrophically, you just walk away with, I don't know, cosplay PTSD. Is that a thing? I just can't. I can't not do it. Also, I need I need a metric ruler, not a imperial ruler. I'm gonna use my sewing one. Don't judge me. If you don't have one of these little metal sewing rulers, I use mine all the time, but I also bend a lot of them on accident, so I buy a lot of replacements. But they are wonderful little devices, whether you are sewing or fabricating. 10 out of 10 recommend, because they've got this little, like, I mean, it's like a cheap version of a I want to say forceps, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Those very, very precise measuring. They've got the little mouthy thing on them. It will come to me like at 4 a.m. this morning, the tool I'm talking about, which I also have. And I use those when I'm 3D designing. What are they called? Mine are stolen. Not from a store, from a school. Is that better or is that worse? There's a story behind it. I worked at a school that got this huge amount of scientific funding. I don't know from where. So the science classroom just had all these supplies when they hired me on that had been sitting in a closet for 15 years unused. And because I am particular about things, I organized the closet and I found like 35 sets of everything you could ever imagine, enough for like a full classroom, which is, if you're in education, is genuinely unheard of. And the fact that they're like brand new, unopened, and 15 years old really bummed me out. So I used them. In my classroom. And then eventually I left that district and I had like schools have really, really tight timelines on things. And because there's so many working pieces, you just have to like deal with it. So the end of the year was approaching. The school needed to be cleared out. Classrooms needed to be cleared out so that the deep clean and work could be done, could start right away. And I had like half a day to pack up my classroom. And I was just throwing stuff into boxes because I was moving out of state. So I was packing up, like not just packing up, I was packing up. Anyways, a couple of those instruments ended up in some of my moving boxes, not on purpose, but there it was. And so I decided that if I was going to keep them, I was going to use them. So I use them. What are they? Never, ever come to me. I can see the little gray box they're in. I know how to use and I had my kids, we would measure everything. Like part of it was just having fun measuring stuff, which if you are a teacher, you know, is half the battle is getting kids to use the instruments that you're supposed to use. Okay, so this was, what did I just do? I marked, while I was talking, I was marking a line that is 1 centimeter up from the base of this with the pen so you can see it. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to aim for about 5 millimeters right in the middle. That's where I want to punch my holes for the magnets so that they go all the way through this outer wall and then into the 10 millimeter foam that is now forming the base of this. And now that I am done with that, because it doesn't matter that it's imperial or metric, I can go back to my big ruler. So it's 5 inches. 2.5 is going to be the middle, which is where I'll put, if there's a key piece, that's where I'll put it. And then half of 2.5 is 1.25. But maybe I'll just put it at the 1 inch mark and at the 1 inch mark. So it's kind of off to the side. Now I'm going to do that on every single side. So 2.5 inches. If I put the key, that's where it'll be. And then 1 inch from each edge. And then I will pause and look at it to make sure I actually like what I have done before I move on, since I'm figuring this out as we go. If you can believe it, this is actually how I made some of all those like big foam builds that I've had. I just make it. I like crazy. I just do crazy stuff, getting it all together. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, do I like this or not? And then I'll take it apart and I'll make it a second time a little bit better. So I've got those spots marked. You can kind of see them. There they are. And I'm thinking that they're fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Do I have any problems with that? Do I want them to be a little bit closer to the corners? I don't think so. I think it looks great. Now, how am I going to punch those holes? What am I going to use? Do I have any pipes that I have filed down to a sharp edge? Because that would be perfect. I don't. I do have my rotary tool, but I'm not going to do that. That sounds dangerous. I have some hole punchers that are really hard to use. Oh, I know what I'm going to use. Hold on. I got these. You can't see or hear me. I got these for a project, which is actually episode 8. If you stick around to watch the rest of the Ellen Ripley series, I got these hole punches for leather working, and I think they might get the job done for this because they are sharp-ish, sharp adjacent. Oh, is that... Do I want to go larger or smaller? I'm not going to get it perfect. I don't think I want to, if I can, I want to avoid distorting my foam. Okay, this is the size I want. That would be ideal. And now I'm going to take this piece out. And I am going to not panic at this. I think I can just slowly... Uh-oh. It's not a bad uh-oh. It's a I was clearly working on something and left all the the punches in it. Just see the avalanche of punched pieces come out. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, we'll do one. Is there a side that I want to be a beauty side? Because I will not do it on that side. I don't think it matters. So I think I'm just going to do it right here. And then I can't quite see it, but I can get pretty close. All right. Here's hoping. We're just going to go for it. I kind of wish I had some. I need to get some brass tubes that I can file down to. Yeah, something real sharp. Oh, that worked pretty good. Hold on. Look, now there's a hole in my foam. And oh, nice. My magnets fit in there. I think I should have gone a size smaller. That's okay. I mean, I will glue these in too, but I think I'm going to do just one size smaller so that it's got a friction fit as well. And I will also be gluing and sealing it on... Were there two there? How did that happen? Gluing and sealing it so that they're really stuck in there. What will I use to seal it? I'll probably use Cosbond reinforcer. I have some of that stuff left over. I don't think the company that makes the reinforcer is still in business because I've tried to refill my stash, but and I've emailed them without any response. So I might be using up what's left of what I've got, but it's worth it. Nice. Okay. Looking for my magnets. Got one in, and I can show you. And then the other end that's a little bit looser, and don't know that it will hold it. But here's hoping. Look, there's magnets in there. It's an achievement. Okay, let's do the rest. And then we'll go and we'll punch through to this edge. We can at least mark it. Because I guess they don't have to be perfect. I guess that's just in my mind's eye that everything should be perfectly lined up. And if it was mechanical, like truly craftsmanship, competition type build, I would seek robot level precision. But this is for funsies. So we're just doing it for funsies. Yeah. Oh, I like these. What are they? It's a leather hollow punch set. Nice. I didn't really end up using them that much for the project. I got them for episode 8, which is a little bit further out in my Ellen Ripley build series, to make the alien stompers, which I did make a pair of alien stomper Reeboks. Except I didn't put Reebok on there because I felt like that was copyright infringement, so I put my branding all over them. So stick around. You can see how I struggled to make a pair of shoes. Oops. That's coming. I saved the hardest build of that project to the very end, which I often do. It's a problem. I have a friend who always tackles the hardest part of a project first. And smart. And I decided on the last thing that I was building, the most recent project I've had, that I was going to do that as well. But I don't know that it works for me because I'm really struggling with it. And it makes me want to give up. And maybe you just need to say, I just need to hear some people say, like, persevere through and then you'll be done. And then you'll feel compelled to do the rest of it. Which is kind of what I'm hoping will happen, because right now I just want to call it quits. But I don't know that I'll keep doing that. I don't know that that works for me. I've also had friends who say, like, start with the shoes on a new cosplay, because no one really looks at the shoes, except I look at shoes. I think shoes are beautiful. I love them. I want to look at them. And people are so clever on how they engineer the footwear for their costumes that, like, it's such an interesting insight into the builder when you get a chance to see what their footwear looks like. Whew. Okay. So I got all my holes punched out here, and the magnets fit right in. Awesome. And now I am going to just mark where I want the holes in my 10 millimeter foam to be. And I'll probably punch those too. I can't, but I could tear it out, but I could tear out more than I meant to tear out. What do I want to do with that? Good question. Oh, I don't know. I could use a little, like, drill. I could use my rotary tool. I bet that will be a fun sound to hear on a live stream. The question is, though, what is going to give me the best control to accomplish something that is genuinely, will actually be a kind of a tricky step. There's all the marked edges. I hesitate to use my rotary tool because sometimes it has a mind of its own, and I have some sore hands because I burnt them on my flat iron yesterday. Maybe I can. Okay, I'm gonna punch into this. This is our tester anyways. I mean, since they're all the same, I guess it doesn't matter which side it's on. Where am I? Here they are. Yeah, I did have them because I was working on stuff in this other pile of chaos over here. some pliers, some needle nose pliers. Let's see. So I need to channel the great foam smiths of our time. What would they do? They'd use a rotary tool. Yeah. They wouldn't try to do this by hand. They'd be like, no, just use your rotary tool. All right. Fine. I'm going to use my rotary tool. Oh, my God. You're ready. I love this thing. I've gone through 3 of them. They don't last very long with me, unfortunately. I clean them, too. I had to care for them, and I maintain them. I just really, really use them. Especially when I was making like the big Queenomorph and Xenomorph armor and mantles. Those took a lot of sanding, and I really just put them through the gauntlet. Oh yeah, where's my plug? That's going to be important. My clamp isn't big enough on this part of my table, and I don't want to move the table out because it will unsquare the video shot, and not that that will bother anyone, but it will bother me. So what do I want to do? Oh, I know what I can do. I'll just put it right here. That's fine. I have little bars to hold tools. Oh, why don't I just use a hook then? Oh, smarts. There we go. A little boop right there. Fix that problem. I mean, this tool has lived a good life. It's probably approaching the end. Only because it's been like 4 or 5 years, and that's about as long as my rotary tools last. I could get the one with like the foot pedal. Actually, my friend gave me one that he was not using in his classroom anymore. And I'm scared of it. So I haven't used it. Sorry, Matt. But I have it. It's traveled with me through like 4 different moves. But it's so official. It's so real. Like that's real. All right. What kind of bit do I think is going to work best? Oh, I've got these little gnarly circle bits that I bought and sourced separately a while back for the Queenomorph build because I needed to get like little textures in there. And they work pretty good. They do kind of have a mind of their own because they grab and they rip. So you don't get super clean stuff with foam. But mine are really dull because I've used them a lot. So maybe it will be better. We'll find out. I don't have a spindle sander as small as I need it. Otherwise, I would do that. Channel Evil Ted Smith and use them for detail work. Okay. PPE mask. That's a great idea. I do have one. Yes, I love that. Thank you for reminding me. It will, just a heads up, it will strip all the makeup off from around my face and I'll look like the Joker for a little bit, but worth it to save my lungs. And it will get caught in my earrings and it will flatten my hair. And I only have nitrile gloves up here and it's just the one. So we're just going to use my hands, which are fine. Glasses are real lenses. We'll go real slow. Is that gonna work? I don't know. I don't know that that's the bit that's going to get the job done. And while I'm taking a quick break from that, don't judge, but I'm going to take my earrings out too because the mask pulls on them. And I don't want to lose an earlobe. You know, the important stuff. Can you still hear me through this, okay? Let's take that off. Oof. All right. That one didn't work great. It was okay. I got a little round started. But maybe this is a 2-bit operation. Let me use this guy, this little spindle. And we'll see. We'll just see. If we can get one of these to work, we'll know that off camera I need to do this. And this is unique to this project. Oh, shut up. That's working great. Okay. Yeah, that worked pretty good. Let's see if we can get if I need to do a little bit more carving on it, but look at that. There she is, little magnet in there. Oh, good. You can hear me. Great. I appreciate that. I do want to protect my lungs very, very much. Okay. Well, it's not fun to watch me just like drill out small holes. How are we doing? Oh, it's not too bad. Yeah, still. It's good setting spray. I need to buy more of that. But now I know that will work. Oh, wait. Did I drill out the wrong hole? That's okay. This is the one I was testing, and then on the other side, I just drilled a new one. So now I know that's the bit to use. I actually do most of my rotary work out in the garage, which is where I want to continue this because it's so messy. And while the door is closed now, you just can't hear the cats throwing themselves against it for attention. And I don't like to bring power tools around them because of that. This was up here because I was pretty sure I was going to need to test it out. And now I know, and it's all ready to go. And it needs to go out into the garage anyways. So, sorry. It's going to be some off-camera work on this. Just for safety, though, not in here. Okay. Woohoo! That's a win. And now I know it works. So my thinking is, I think I can actually get one in there. My thinking is, I'm going to put the magnet in here. I'm going to put a magnet in here. Use the right way. Yeah. Like that. I will eventually have a protective layer. I'll put some reinforcer in there so they don't touch and rip each other out. And then this, oh my God, I just put them in the wrong one. Like, come on, girl. That's what I tell you. Dyslexia. Okay. Fixed. And then when I put this together, it should just, yeah, click into place. Nice. There's that little magnet. And so now I have 2 on each side all the way around it. And while it's not like a huge force, I think it will be enough to hold the base in here as long as I am cognizant of the amount of weight that's inside of it at any given point in time. I'll put my earrings back in if I can. I think I can make it work. I mean, the base, not the earring. The earring maybe, there we go, done for the day. Oh, I'm really excited that that worked out. And then the magnets won't just be out. We'll use, I don't know if there's anyone who's been a fan of like Kamui cosplay since the beginning. I love that team. They're amazing. And when Svetlana and Benny were just working with Warbla, one of her books, like one of the first books, was talked about the power of working with strips of material. And man, I ate it up. I listened to every word she had to say about it. And so we're going to use a bunch of strips of foam to decorate this because they are our cosplay Lord and Saviors, and they know better. They know best. And they're not wrong. We'll use a bunch of strips of foam to decorate it. Yeah. I wish I hadn't. I'm looking at this and thinking out loud. I wish I hadn't. I like all these little swirls and stuff, but I kind of wish that I hadn't cut all those in there because they're going to be hard to decorate on. It's okay. It's fine. It's totally worth it, but I think they're going to pose a little bit of a challenge, and we'll deal. We'll survive. All right. So where are we at with this? We have the base made. We have the roof is in the process of being tiled, and inside it, I want to put a bunch of cool sculpted like flowers with LED stamens. Here's my thinking. I'm gonna grab this. This is just a little piece I made for a Halloween costume. And what I like about it, I have to take my little friends out of it. What I like about it is that this is how I was using the fairy lights. You see that? There's flowers. And then they just have these little light up elements inside of them. And all they are fairy string lights that I just twisted into a flower shape. So easy. It's super fun. And I want a bunch of those inside of here. I could put a bunch of silk flowers in there, but I think I want to make my flowers because then I can make really cool, fantastical, magic flowers like you find in a fairy lantern. It's totally what would be inside of it. Or they could be like poisonous flowers, like poisonous magical fairy flowers with teeth and monstrous and stuff like that. Ooh, that sounds really fun. I want to do that. Good ideas. But what are they mounted on? Like, what are they going to sit on? Should I just go walk outside and see if I can find a stick or something? Or I should make it. Ooh, I should make it. I'm looking off to the side because I was working on something and I was using freeform air. If you haven't tried this, it's a really fun in theme parks. It hardens to be like crazy, cranky magical flowers. Yeah, they should be a little cranky, right? Oh, I like this. This is amazing. This hardens into it's rock solid. It's almost unbreakable. When I made the Queenomorph and I made the big mantle and it had pointy tips on it, that's what I made the tips out of, so that when I smashed them against stuff, which I did a lot, they were like unbreakable. It is brittle, so if it's a small thin piece you can snap it, but for the most part I could make an aluminum foil internal structure and then cover it with this. And I have found that it has, it's got a third and wickety, or we could do something lumpy, blobulous, fungal. I'm gonna go down a Pinterest rabbit hole tonight thinking about this. Oh, and we are at 2:01. I'm going to keep going for another couple of minutes. Thank you before I go, so I don't forget. Thank you so much for hanging out for me. I see that there are a bunch of people who participated in the chat and you hung around the whole time. And Thank you. I didn't expect anyone to show up today. Most of the time when I do live streams, this is only the third one, but I just like, why would you join me? But this has been really amazing. And I really, really appreciate you all for hanging out. Oh, weird. Okay, so now I know that. I know we've got a couple more tiles to go on the roof, which I still have here. We have engineered our base attachment, and I do need to go and finish in garage. We need a handle still. Oh, and we need a key. Engineer key. And we need to, I do think I like the idea of something here so that I can, so that's like a decorative element on the base, but I can really easily remove the base. It will make setting it down harder, but maybe I can be clever about it, you know, so that it's still like maybe little feetsies that like do a swirly thing. If I make them out of foam, grab, okay. Bottom embellishment. I mean, we could also go totally low tech and just do like a little ribbon loop to just take that off if I need to. So I want to, when I take the rotary tool out, I'm going to want to take these out too. And in the last couple of minutes, I'm going to pick out my flower colors because I feel like blue is a good one. I kind of want green. Yeah, yellow is okay. Put that one right there. Do I have any that I've already taken the schmigiggies out of? Red? Yeah, okay. And that's white. No, that's too mystical. Green. Okay, so red, blue, green. To me, those feel kind of sinister. I think maybe the gold too. And that way we know we need to make some terrifying flowers. Oh, that brings me so much joy. Carnivorous, frightening, with teeth, cranky. Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much. I love purple. Everything I have has purple flowers in it. To me, purple feels magical. Like this would clearly be magical, but like friendly, inviting. Although you think about anglerfish and that little dangly thing, it's not terrifying and it attracts, which, you know, a carnivorous would have a little something to attract it and be like, oh, I'm friendly, come here. And then it traps you and eats you. So maybe, yeah, okay. I like the purple idea. Let me see if I can find one in here. I may have used them all up. That's blue. Although I have a second stash. If I don't find them in here, I will find them in the second stash. White. That's yellow. You could be purple. Blue. No. Yeah, I guess that would be smart because trick someone into thinking, there we go. There's a purple. I like this. Some of them will be tricky. Some of them will just be scary. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out. I so appreciate it. And exciting. The next video for Ellen Ripley goes live on Monday. And then I'll be back to my normal live stream schedule because there won't be another Super Bowl Sunday. So thank you so much for hanging out. And I will see you next time, I hope.